I thought I'd review Kanye West's new song. Or maybe not. YouTube already hate me without doing that, and I guess after that intro I have some explaining to do. That was footage from this week's film, Shaolin's Born Invincible from 1978, and I wish I could explain that film, but I watched the whole thing and I still have no explanation for most of what happened. It's a Hong Kong martial arts movie and it's up for free on YouTube. I'll put the link below, but I don't recommend watching this one. Just watch this review unless you really love martial arts movies, because it's one of the most incomprehensible films I've ever seen. And I've watched both the Spanish film Jamon Jamon, where there's a duel with cured ham as weapons, and yes, that is a real thing. It has Penelope Cruz in it. And I also watched the Japanese film, Japanese Swim Girl Attack Team Go, and yes, I did watch that one entirely for the name. I saw it and I got curious as to what that could possibly mean. Asia's filmmakers just seem to have a real gift for naming films. I mean, take Dirty Harry. It's a great film, but what is the film about just from that name? No idea. I guess someone called Harry who's dirty. Compare that to the Japanese film Violence Cop, and I can't help but admire how blunt and efficient that name is, because it's a perfect description of the movie. Japan. What a strange and interesting group of people live there. I was going to do the movie Rust this week, and do you know what it is? It's the movie that almost got Alec Baldwin sent to jail, but it's also a modern western. Do you know what else it is? It's the story of an orphaned 13-year-old boy looking after his younger brother, who ends up being sentenced to hang for an accidental murder. It's depressing. It's really depressing. And do you know what else it is? It's almost 2.5 hours long. So I got about half an hour into Rust, and then I stopped watching it. The cinematography was quite nice though. Just don't ask what happened to the cinematographer. So instead, I watched another Hong Kong martial arts movie, this despite reviewing one last week and it getting almost no views on YouTube. And yes, that probably does mean I'm terrible at YouTube. The videos that go viral on this platform make me so sad. I tried to make fun content and then people watch cat videos on Mr. Beast. So instead of Rust, I watched this film, Shaolin's Born Invincible from 1978. On IMDb, it's called Taiji Yuangong, and I'm not going to pretend I watched this film entirely for the cast, because this movie stars Quan Wu Lung. Ah, I see probably nobody knows that name, but he was the guy who played Ghostface Killer in last week's movie The Mystery of Chess Boxing. The film is also called Ninja Checkmate, despite containing no ninjas whatsoever. Somebody should sue, but I really love that guy. It also stars Jack Long, who was also in that same film playing the chess master. But the real clincher for me was the actor Carter Wong, because Carter Wong played one of the three Storms in John Carpenter's movie Big Trouble in Little China. He was the one who exploded, and I love that film. So, did I get what I was hoping for from this film? Some kind of weird mashup of Big Trouble in Little China and Ninja Checkmate? No, I didn't. What I got was 80 minutes of some of the most bizarre filmmaking I've ever seen. Basically, it's a story of revenge, and I think the movie may not have a single character in it, and it's nearly all fighting. The film opens up with someone training, and it's Carter Wong, and this is kind of a rarity, because although training montages happen frequently in film, this is rare because this is the main bad guy of the story. Wong is training in some form of Tai Chi that renders him invulnerable to all weapons apart from one weak spot on his body, and he tests this by trying to repeatedly stab himself. The training also makes his hair go white and gives him a squeaky high voice.
Damn you! Want to die?
You damn killer!
If you like, you can be Nick.
Go to hell!
What the hell? Also, the version of this film on YouTube is both dubbed and also has subtitles, and for the most part, the dub and subtitles are saying completely different things through the entire movie.
You damn killer!
If you like, you can be Nick.
Go to hell!
This reminds me of a friend of mine who got a dodgy copy of the movie Troy with Brad Pitt from somewhere. He put it on once and it had subtitles despite being in English, and at one point a character said the line, "Our walls have never been breached," and then the subtitle came up and said, "Our wolf has never been teached." The film starts with a martial arts school training outside when an injured old man and his daughter approach them, pursued by some bad guys.
Ah,
And what the hell is going on with their hair? It kind of removes the threat of the bad guys when they show up in pigtails and they're going to doing the old guy. The students step in, chase off the bad guys, but one of the students loses their life in the process, and they then take the old guy back to their school to recover. Meanwhile, the two bad guys in pigtails have gone to get their teachers, who then show up at the school. The school's best student goes out to fight them, but is bested by one of the bad guys' bosses, who's using a tonfa weapon that breaks swords. The head of the school then comes out and loses his life in a duel with Carter Wong, because Wong is impervious to all damage. Finally, the old man comes out to fight. I don't know why they just came out one at a time when they would have done better fighting as one. They just did. So the bad guys 2v1 the old guy and do him in, then break the school's sign. This event is enough for the two schools to end up in a murderous vendetta that lasts for multiple years and leaves few survivors. The school's new leader, played by Jack Long, trains to take on the bad guys, goes to their school, gets both of his swords broken, then throws dust in Tonfa Guy's face and runs away. The two guys with ridiculous hair then show up back at the school, and the students do them in with spears. At this point it's clear that they have no way to beat the Invincible Wong, so they go to live in a cave for the next 3 years while they train to get their revenge, with the ultimate goal of rehanging the sign on the school. Jack Long goes to train some more to take on the bad guy bosses, and he comes up with a plan for beating Tonfa Guy, whose weapon grips and breaks swords. So Long comes up with a plan to oil his sword before the fight, uses the oil to break the grip and land a mortal blow before Tonfa Guy can recover, and he pulls off the plan, taking out Tonfa Guy. He then tries to take on Carter Wong, who is still invincible, so smashes him to pieces. And this is where the film really gets weird. Up to now, that was the normal part. The school now once again has a new leader whose mind is on nothing but revenge, rehanging the school sign and beating the bad guys so their school can stop living in a cave. And for some reason, he develops this unique fighting technique of putting balls in his mouth. Large metal balls that he spits out like they've been fired from a cannon, in the hope of striking Carter Wong's unknown weak spot. But he also fails and is smashed to bits because Wong is still invincible. So the school has yet another new leader whose mind is on nothing but revenge and rehanging the school sign and beating the bad guys so they can stop living in a cave. This time it's the actor who played Ghostface Killer. He trains, takes on Carter, but fails because Wong is still invincible. And just as he's about to get smashed to oblivion, a female student jumps in, attacks Carter Wong, and the hero escapes. And just as Wong is about to smash the young girl, an old woman approaches, and Wong says, "Pink nun?"
Wait!
Pink nun?
I ask that you be generous and let her go.
He just says, "Pink nun," with no context whatsoever. The pink nun then asks Wong to let the girl go, and he does it out of respect for the pink nun, and I have no idea who this character is. They've never even been in the film before. Nobody even mentioned them in the preceding hour of movie. And after this scene, she's never in the movie again. Just a pink nun shows up, who then gives the girl a clue on how to beat Wong, saying he's vulnerable when he's not himself. And this means something to the hero when he hears it. He concludes that Wong is vulnerable when he's laughing, so the hero once again trains, this time to throw a dart at range at a small moving target. He takes on Wong once again, lets Wong thinks that he's winning the fight, then impersonates his silly high voice until Wong laughs. Then the hero throws a dart into Wong's mouth, which hits his weak spot and goes clear through his head. The bad guy crumples and the film immediately cuts to credits. And that's it. And I'm left with so many questions. What the hell did I just watch?